and welcome back to the show. I have a lovely little analogy for you today, which just popped into my mind the other day as I was contemplating something. Now, my mum has always been a really avid gardener. I mean, you should see her garden. It is absolutely exceptional and always has been. And it's always blown my mind how she's so green-fingered and just turns her hand to any gardening job and just everything proliferates, and it's incredible to watch. Now, I don't have the same skills as she has in that respect. It's all I can do to keep my houseplants alive, but I do manage it. But what I'm going to say is that I think I do the same thing when it comes to wealth creation, because wealth creation is exactly like growing a garden. And I had this beautiful image come to mind that having a beautiful, abundant and well-tended garden is exactly what it's like to be able to build wealth and financial abundance for yourself. It's the same process and it's the same concept. So I'm going to share this with you today and show you how closely related these two activities actually are. So therefore, we're not dissimilar at all. It's just that we are able to express it in different ways. So here goes. When you first start to prepare a garden, you have to get it ready, don't you? You have to toil the soil, you have to feed the soil, you have to prepare the ground, and you have to learn about which plants can go where in that garden so that they're going to grow the best for optimum conditions. You probably have to pull a load of weeds out, and you just have to get the garden ready to be planted. That, to me, is like setting the right financial foundations. It's like getting your financial house in order. If you don't do this bit, your garden's not going to grow. Your finances are not going to grow unless you get this bit right. So this is why I bang on so much about making sure that you understand where you are at, financially speaking, first, and why I keep talking about the financial spreadsheet that we have, which is down below. Go and grab it on the link that is just underneath this video or podcast. You can use that to start to see exactly where you're at so that you can start to do some more groundwork. You can start to do some more preparation in terms of growing your finances, because this is absolutely key to getting your financial garden right. So in doing this foundational work, it may involve actually speaking to professionals and knowledgeable experts about where the plants are best going to go. For example, in my garden, I asked my mum exactly what I should be planting where, because it's a north-facing garden and some areas get the light, some don't, some are more sheltered than others, and etc., etc. So you need to know what to plant where. And it's exactly the same thing when it comes to investments, for example, or where to put your money. So speaking to the people who know is absolutely crucial. That is part of the foundational work. So once you've done that, you can then start to sow the seeds. You can start to plant the plants. Some plants may be bigger than others that you buy, and you can, get the results immediately because they've already been established, and therefore you just have to know the right type of plant to buy and where to put it. And others are going to be just literally seeds or seedlings, which are tiny. And again, this is a great analogy for the fact that you may have a big pot of money that you can work with, or you may have a much smaller pot of money, or you may want to divide the cash that you have into different pots or different plants in this case, and plant them in different places to serve different purposes over the course of time. And so you need to know which vehicles are going to be best to nurture them. The key is to tend these plants, to tend these investments, and put them in the right places to grow at the right times and in the optimal conditions for their growth, so that you can actually start to really nurture what you already have and what you're going to be putting into your financial garden. Okay. The biggest key is to do this with love, to do it with care for whatever you are planting and nurturing, and make sure you're actually enjoying yourself, keeping an eye on things as you go along. Whilst they grow, you need to be tending to these, to these plants and these seedlings, and making sure that they are being well looked after. Now, it's important to know, obviously, goes without saying, that it takes time. It can take a while for these plants to establish and to really get their feet down, as my mum calls it, into the ground. So don't rush it. You don't, when you plant something in the ground, you don't go like in a week's time or a month's time. Don't keep checking underneath the soil to see if the roots are growing, to see if there's any little green shoot that's coming up just about to poke in above the surface. You don't do that. You trust, because you've done the groundwork, you've got the knowledge and the advice from the right people, and you just let it do its thing. It takes time for the roots to grow, it takes time for the right nutrients and the right conditions to take shape for those things to grow. And something I always used to say to my property clients when I ran my property mentoring business, property mentoring and coaching business, was that property teaches you patience. It absolutely does. Anyone who's ever been involved in property, being a landlord, being an investor, growing any sort of portfolio will tell you that it takes patience. It takes patience for the deals to come through. It takes patience for for talking to the right people, the legal process, the financial process, chains, if there are any chains involved. It takes time, and the more you try to push it, the more it almost repels it. So the key is to do the groundwork, to put the right seeds in, the right plants in, and allow or provide the right circumstances in order for that investment to grow. And of course, all good things come to those who wait. Some results will show up quicker than others, depending on the type of size of plant or investment that you've got, and some will take years to grow, like establishing a really good fruit tree. But if you establish a really good fruit tree, that will pay you fruit, pay you dividends years and years and years and years to come. The same with buying the right property, for example. If you buy the right property, over the course of time, it will grow in value, and it will provide you cash flow for years and years and years and years and years. As long as you maintain the property and you keep it up to speed, it will provide a really great investment for you ongoing. Now, of course, you can plant different types of plants for different purposes, just as you can with finances. You can get other people involved to help you grow your garden, so that you are basically leveraging your time. So you can leverage other people's time, other people's skills and care and knowledge. And this will enable you to grow your garden even faster and in a more hands-off way. But the key is to choose the right people to help you grow that garden, because not all gardeners are created equally, right? You need to have somebody who cares, who knows what they're doing, and who can give you the best of their time and their knowledge and their skill set. Now, as soon as you start to receive the crops or the flowers or whatever you're growing in your garden, you'll know that you're doing the right job. Sometimes it might be a small crop, and sometimes as the time goes on, the crops will get bigger. And if you tend your garden well, then you will experience a compounding effect, because more likely, the longer that garden goes, as everybody knows, when you see a mature garden that's been in place for several years or decades, it's absolutely magnificent if it's been tended well. And all the plants are just absolutely giving and proliferating at a crazy rate. Again, like I say, when I go to my mum's garden, it's absolutely bonkers how many flowers she has each year, and how tall the trees are growing, and how healthy everything looks. It's amazing. It really, really is. So the wonderful thing about that is that you get this multiplication of produce, meaning that you can use it not only for yourself, but for your family and to give away to other people. So it enables you to have that abundant mindset and mentality and ability to give your goods away to other people if you want to. You can share it around. And of course, in terms of wealth creation and abundance, the ability over the course of time for that to be able to happen in your financial portfolio is also true. So that's just a really nice way of looking at it. And of course, on the flip side, you also need to make sure in the tending process that you're pulling out the weeds, that you are discouraging snails, slugs, birds, and other creatures that may come along and try and eat your little green shoots off, or come and eat all the leaves off your plants and the fruit that you produce. Of course, sometimes it's going to go to them, and that's absolutely fine, but it's a question of management, isn't it? It's a question of managing it, and it's a question of having enough going on and being proactive so that the crops can come through. Now, I kind of equate this to, for example, the naysayers, the negative people, the ones who come along and might try and take your money, the crooks and the sharks out there. And you've just got to ward them off as best you can. You've got to do your due diligence about how you can discourage those types of that sort of environment in your garden, in your own mind as well. This is more for your own mindset, I would say, to ensure that you're steering clear of this type of influence in your financial garden, because it can be rife when you are trying to grow your own financial garden, that it can be that other people or other influences come along and try to take things from you or influence you in ways that are not going to be beneficial for your garden. So watch out for those as well. Now, if you get this all right and you take all that gardening advice and you apply it to your financial and your wealth garden, then you will reap the rewards for years and possibly even generations to come. And that's if you do it really well and really consciously and with love. And that's key. And with the love means that you actually put money and time and effort and energy into things that you believe in, that pull at your heart. Like for us, property is a real, it's always been a passion of ours. And in more recent times, the cryptocurrency market as well has been something we've been really interested in. We see so much potential, and the avenue to open it up to such a huge, well, everyone on the planet basically, and really level the playing field when it comes to financial institutions. And that's why we're so passionate about that as well. So whatever you're putting your time and energy into, it's got to be something that you love and something that you feel passionate about and can get involved in, because that's going to make you want to do a great job. And so that is what's going to enable you to get the knowledge and the skill set yourself to set this up, to generate what it is that you need from it, and also to share it and spread it around with other people. So I hope you've enjoyed that little run through, that little story and analogy today. And if you have enjoyed it, I'd so appreciate it if you would give me a little like, comment or review on this platform. It really helps, obviously, the channel to grow. And on that subject of growing, I think that's a really nice thing to do if we can share it with other people as well. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed today's show, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care. Bye for now.